The biggest mistake I made when I was in the situation, I don't even acknowledge it as a relationship with a deadbeat, is not tell my side of the story. So one of the main reasons why I did not stay with my daughter's father is because he was abusive. And when I say he was abusive, mentally, emotionally, physically, and sometimes he would essay me. But I dealt with it up until the point where I had finally made my mind up and I was like, I'm gonna exit this situation. And I knew that the situation was not healthy for me to raise the kids in. Not only that, my daughter was diagnosed with autism and he just refused to accept that she was autistic. Instead of him wanting to get her help and actually understand her diagnosis, he wanted to whoop it out of her. I wasn't having it. He felt like I was challenging him as a father. And I was like, no, nigga, our child is autistic. She has a learning disability. She's not understanding. Whooping her is not going to help. He was also financially irresponsible. I was managing the bills by myself, but having a whole house. And like, make it make sense. So once I finally got up the courage to leave, I was like, you got to get your stuff and you got to get out of my house. Because mind you, everything was in my name. Ended up breaking up, moving out, yada. So then I tried to co-parent with this man. Co-parent was so bad that I was just like, I can't do this no more. But the final straw came when he decided to be physical with me and put his hands on me in front of the kids and had to file a police report and go through all of that. It took me some time, but I kind of, tried to let it pass because I was like, my daughters need a father. My daughter loves a father. Let's try to work things out. I was lost. Back to the story. So I tried to co-parent with him after the situation, but it still wasn't working. He was very inconsistent. He was manipulative. He would lie about shit. And I was just like, you know what? I'm better off raising these kids by myself, not dealing with it. My daughter needs a schedule. She needs consistency.
In about 1 mile, turn.
And if you know, autistic kids, they have to have a schedule. They have to have consistency. Once those things change, it leads them into meltdown. Now, mind you, my child was like 3 at the time, so she wasn't even talking. She wasn't using words. She was just pointing, and then she would cry about any and everything. Refused to do right. Fast forward, he ended up getting locked up, blaming me, talking to me crazy. I wasn't here for it, so I blocked him. Never heard from him again. And paid child support. Really just got to the point where I no longer cared about what he did, what he had going on. He wasn't a good father anyway. He wasn't a good person. It was not until February 2024 when my daughters went to go stay with my family while I went out of town for my birthday that they contacted him and thought he was going to be back in their life. It's another story for another day. But all that being said, I stay away from him. I don't bother him. He does not do what he's supposed to do financially for the kids. Mind you, he's $75,000 behind in child support. And in order to keep him paying child support, he goes to great lengths to hide his money. And by great lengths, I mean he opens LLCs and puts his money in them with himself and whatever little bird brain bitch he dealing with. Because my daughters are old enough now, they understand, they get it, they know him for who he is. They don't want to deal with him. I'm only sharing this because there are people out there that think this person is like this perfect guy, that they're this good person, when in actuality, they are a monster. They're a narcissistic, toxic, manipulative person. Like, to the point where if I know anybody that deals with him or anything, I'm not in any way associating myself with them. We're not friends, we're not nothing. I don't even deal with my family that wants to have that open door where they are like any kind of cordial communication with them, because fuck him. Now I hope that people understand him when I say I don't want no parts and no dealings with him. That is why. He was my abuser, not a good person, and I like to protect my peace and not be triggered by the BS that he got going on. I'm not even gonna tell y'all about the stalking at church part. That's why I don't go to the same church that I go to.